This conference will now be recorded.
Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez, Commissioner Nerth Golansky should be walking in soon. Mayor David Suarez.
Here.
Thank you. Mayor Jim Darling.
Here.
Mayor Norma Sepulveda.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. O'Gara. What was that?
Keep going.
Commissioner David Garza.
Present.
Commissioner Ellie Torres. Commissioner J.R. Garza. Councilman Johnny Garcia. I see you, sir. Mayor Rick Salinas.
Present. Sorry about that.
Commissioner Omar Quintanilla.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Jacob Howell.
Present.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mayor Nori Gonzalez Garza. Mayor Gus Olivares. Commissioner Edward Gonzalez.
Here.
Thank you. Mayor Rick Guerra. Commissioner Marco Villegas. Mayor Alma Salinas. Mr. Richard Sanchez.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Paul Hernandez.
Here.
Ms. Claudia Hernandez. Mr. Troy Allen. Mr. Ronald Mills. Mr. Eleazar Garcia. Mr. Sergio Contreras. And Ms. Lupita Sanchez.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Well, thank you. And the next item is invocation. Manny, please stand.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, bless us as we gather here today to conduct business that will affect the citizens of the Rio Grande Valley. Give us the clarity of mind to act in their best interest and not ours. We ask that you bless our speakers and that you would bless our time here today. May we grasp those things that you want us to understand, and may our actions and our attitudes please you this day. We pray these things in your almighty name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Next is our Pledge of Allegiance.
Amen.
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
States of America.
And to the republic for which stands one nation under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you. Item number 2 is consideration and action to approve the minutes from the October 26, 2022 meeting.
Mayor Salinas, so moves.
Johnny Garcia, second.
We have a motion and second. Any additions or deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item is public comment. Anybody sign up for public comment? Nobody signed up. Next is administrative. Mr. Cruz, item A, ratification of executive committee action.
Okay, yes, Mr. President, for this action item is to consider ratification of the executive committee action on purchase of real property for the purpose of constructing a multimodal facility. As you recall, last meeting on October 26, the board approved to offer and present the offer to the seller of $48,000 per acre. Seller countered after that with the original amount of $65,000 per acre. Our realtor has been working with our attorney, and they countered with $55,500 per acre. The executive committee met on November 15th virtually with the executive committee to review, discuss, and consider the counteroffer presented of $52,500 per acre, and they took action to approve offering the $52,500 per acre. And again, this is to the purchase of real property. We need action on this
Okay.
item.
And then, so I guess the action is related to the executive session, but it's actually to go ahead with the purchase of the property as just presented.
Mayor Darling, this is Commissioner Garza. I move that we purchase a proper for the amount agreed upon.
This is Commissioner Howe. I second the motion.
A motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none.
Mayor Darling, I know that at that meeting, there were several concerns that were going to be looked at. Did we take all those things into consideration already?
Mayor Salinas, that's part of the process. Right now, we're in the negotiation phase. We will be going into executive session here in a bit to discuss the details.
Thank you.
All right, so just quick question, gentlemen. So my understanding is all the details that were forwarded or addressed, those will go into a research phase, and any, I guess, additions or concerns will be addressed, I guess, at the proper time
That is correct.
or presented, I would say.
Yeah, this is to sign the contract and it has a feasibility period. That's correct. So the motion and second is to approve the contract.
All right, thank you.
With
Next,
a
approve the
90,
contract. All those in
a
favor, raise your hand.
feasibility study.
Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I don't see any no on it. Motion carried. We're going to executive session now. Okay, the next item is going to executive session relating to this contract, discuss the terms and conditions.
And just as instructions, read out the executive session. Item number 1, real property matters pursuant to section 551.071, attorney consultation, and section 551.072, purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property regarding certain real property located at North Milano Road in the West Track subdivision in Westlaco. You should have received a second link. You will be logging off of this link and logging into the other link so we can start executive session. And the people that are here in the room will be stepping out to the adjacent boardroom and take the call there. So at this time, please disconnect and log into the next or the other link that was provided to you.
Okay, we're going to executive session. So staff, you can either close your eyes and put your, no, you're going to have to leave. We're going to go to the other room. You stay there.
Debbie, could you please send me that second link? I did not get it. This is Commissioner Garza.
This conference will now be recorded.
Do I have to repeat that? We're back from executive session. No action needs to be taken from executive session as we moved for approval of the previous item. So our next item is presentation for 2023 It's Time Texas Community Challenge. We have Selena Guerrero here. You want to come up, please? She is the South Texas Regional Director for It's Time Texas, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, board of directors, commissioners, local leaders. Thank you all for having me. I'm joined by Tanya, and she's handing out the flyers. So, as many, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with It's Time Texas. Oh, thank you. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with It's Time Texas. We're a nonprofit, and our movement and our mission is to create a culture of health. Did you move me? Did I move? Okay. To create a culture of health in Texas. And we focus on the South Texas region, that's the Rio Grande Valley, because there is a great need here for programming for nutrition education, health education, physical activity education. And we have our community challenge coming up, and that is an 8-week program that kicks off January 9th. Did I go there? Okay. It's an 8-week program. It kicks off January 9th and it runs through March 5th. And we're challenging all of you local leaders who can really make a difference in your communities, to sign the pledge, become a partner. We are going to have a kickoff event here in this location, January 9th at 10:30. And you can come and sign the pledge here. We'll have, photographs. It's going to be a big event. Our executive team will be here. And we're just inviting you to come on and join the challenge, the community challenge. And from my understanding,
the Valley has been a big participant for the last few years. We have some winners, I believe McAllen, Farr. There's been a few others that have, been up there and really been some of our top competitors, I guess you could say. So, and we do have a little bit of a goal. I'm not really following this exactly, but we do have a little bit of a goal. All across Texas, we would like 20,000 participants. And specifically here in the Valley, I believe last year we were at a little over 8,000 participants. We'd really like to hit a goal of 10,000. And we really believe that with your help in going out and being good stewards of health in your community, that you can really motivate and challenge your community to come on board and join the community challenge. So here's some metrics from last year. Statewide, we had about over 17,000 participants. We've worked with 24 school districts, 24 nonprofits, 19 local governments, and 3 health systems. We're hoping to up those numbers, and we're pretty much on track to getting those numbers bigger. And this is a great thing because we're coming together and having these conversations that start with the community challenge and figuring out ways that we can improve the health and well-being of our communities. So we consider this a bit of our spark, the community challenge. It sparks that conversation and gets people thinking and considering ways to better improve their health. Oops. Oh, I moved it. But these are individual experiences. There are weekly prizes for the individuals. There are top winners. Our top winners are celebrated on the app and on throughout social media. We do have some updates to our community challenge. For our partners, such as yourself, once you sign on, you'll have a dashboard with data visualization to see those numbers and see how active your community is, and also just kind of track how well your community is doing. For our participants, they can register within the app, refer their family and coworkers. There'll be destination check-ins. If they're going to a park, they can check in and track that activity. This is already passed. But if you have any questions, you could ask me. You could also email communitychallenge@itstimetexas.org. And with the flyers that were handed out, there's a QR code where you could just scan it, download the app, and sign up. But we want you to sign the partner pledge specifically so that way we can get your community on board with us. So,
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yes. Yeah, we will be sending out some invites, but the event will be here January 9th at 10:30 a.m. Yes.
Bring your sneakers.
Yes, wear your sneakers, get excited, come on, challenge each other. This is we want a great big participation and a great big crowd to come out.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Right. Thank you all very much.
Appreciate it. You've always done well in all the Valley cities.
We'll be sending out the information to the list, to the distribution list for board of directors, just as a reminder. And with that, I'd like the board to take action on the LRGVDC signing the pledge for It's Time Texas.
Oh, so make a motion, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, we need a motion to sign up for It's Time Texas for this year. Okay, a
Johnny
motion.
Garcia from Edinburgh, so move.
We got a second. And then, of course, everybody, all the cities contribute. I don't want to say I'm from McAllen, but McAllen won every year. But anyways, in the school districts and Harlingen did good. And so everybody sign up. We have a motion and second to sign up. All those in favor? All those in favor do a push-up? No, okay. Raise your hand. Okay. Those opposed? We're signed up, so we got to go and follow up on that. Okay. Our next item is consideration and action on date and time for annual report and budget committee meeting, which my understanding doesn't require a quorum, right? So just people that are interested, they can set the date and time.
That's correct, Mayor. It's that time of year again where we meet with the entire board to review our annual report and budget, approve our budget, or recommend it to the full committee, the board, which will take place January 25th. So at this time, we are proposing, typically the meetings for this committee meeting are on the second week of January. And so I'd like to propose either the 12th or the 13th. That's a Thursday or Friday, unless the board which is to,
Let's do Thursday the 12th. It's probably easier. Huh?
okay. Okay,
So either first or third week?
first or third.
Is third week probably? Yeah, we could do it. We could do it virtually, and actually, we don't need a quorum for virtually anyway.
Yeah.
If you want to go in virtually, do it. Okay. So how about the Thursday? What date is that?
12th?
The 12th, Thursday, January 12th. It'll be and so everybody's invited, and we could do it Zoom or regular. I would, never mind, suggest for the budget, you come in and it's easier if you come in and see it up person, but you can do it Zoom.
Yes, it's going to be here at the main campus at 301 West Railroad. It's through a lunch, so we'll be providing lunch. So that hopefully will entice most of you to join or come. So looking forward to that.
Lunch, okay. So we need a motion for that, I think, or no?
Yes.
Okay, to have a motion for January 12th.
So move.
Okay, motion and second. Any other discussion? Hear none, all those in favor, say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
All right, and we'll have healthy food that day, no hamburgers for It's Time Texas. Executive Director Report, Manny?
Really quickly, just like to introduce a couple of new staff members that came on board LRGVDC. So first and foremost, we have Ms. Adriana Estrada. She's the Executive Assistant for RGV MPO. Enrique Garcia, Valley Metro, a driver. And Xavier Claudio, another driver for Valley Metro. That's item 1. Item 2, we will need your approval for the accept and approve the 2023 board meeting schedule, and you'll see it in your tablet or it's posted on the presentation.
Is that an action item?
Yes, it's an action, and we need action on that.
I make a motion to approve. It's Commissioner Howell.
Second, Commissioner Garcia. Edinburgh.
Okay, a motion and second. That's in your packet for all the year. And most of those are at the end of the month, obviously. Any other discussion on that? Hear none. All those in favor, say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 3, just a real quick update on regional news, federal funding opportunities, training, and legislation. So just wanted to bring something to the board's attention having to do with broadband. For those of you that have been keeping up with that information or that news, as you may or may not know, on December 13, the Texas Comptroller, Mr. Glenn Hagar, sent a letter to FCC and NTIA office to request an extension to the deadline to approve the coverage map, a 60-day deadline until March 14th. And again, additionally, to propose the release of the final map, coverage map, by 60 days from May 15th through July 14th. So the reason I bring this up is because it's a huge concern. If you can see the slide online, or if the folks here, that is the coverage map for the Lower Rio Grande Valley 3-county area. And so what that depicts is 100% coverage with broadband, which I think it's not an accurate depiction. And so there is room for, I guess, protest or to submit your comments. And so we provided the same page, FCC or comptroller.texas.gov. You can go on there and submit your challenge on the coverage map. And so this is already going to be approved. And so Mr. Hagar is just trying to extend the deadline or challenge this particular map.
Well, I think we ought to send that out to all the different cities, making up the COG, and of course, the counties are here, so.
Yes, I'll be
I
forwarding.
agree.
And then, do we want to do a motion on behalf of the Council of Governments protesting? Get their attention?
Yes, well, we're working with the Texas Association of Regional Councils.
Okay.
So they're going to be they're spearheading that effort. But we will be in contact to try to submit whatever information we can in reference to the coverage area. Again, the 100% broadband coverage in the RGV. I highly doubt it. And so we just want to make sure that that our comments are taken, and hopefully they'll delay the approval process. Because I will tell you what this means is that, especially with those millions of dollars coming down the pike, that right there indicates that we don't need any money from the federal
Yeah.
government. And so it's going to lead up to that.
So
It's-
that means those little honeycombs there that are filled out.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll send it out to all the member cities, and don't assume that somebody's going to do it for you. So everybody get on board and let them know this is inaccurate, and we'll get a report back
Yes.
next meeting.
Yes, get it with your experts, your IT departments, and you know, they can vouch for some of these coverage areas or lack of, so it's, yes.
Yeah, school districts have more information than almost anybody. Okay, no action on that.
No, that concludes my report.
That's report. Next one is departmental reports, community and economic development. Rick, you're up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mayor Darling. Just quick commentary on that map. If you notice, they consider broadband 25 down and 3 up. Most cell phones will provide that, and I know they have that differentiation between fixed and mobile, but still, a lot of times what happens if they advertise speeds up to 25.3, then that's why they're considered covered. But as y'all know, like I won't mention my provider, but if I have speeds up to 100, but that's not going to happen at 6:30 in the evening. It'll happen at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when nobody else in the neighborhood is on. So just want to throw that out there for everybody. Even more reason for y'all to really do a deep dive on that and figure out where your coverages are and are not. A couple of action items this month. I will try to be brief for the interest of time. I have two items that need to go for action. Item number A, or item number 1, consideration and action to approve Regional Water Resource Advisory Committee nominations for institution of higher education and small city representatives. That meeting just happened yesterday.
Is that number 2 or number 1?
Oh, number 1. I've got my pages in the wrong order. I beg your pardon. Right here, number 1. Consideration and action to approve Solid Waste Advisory Committee member at the November 29th SWAC meeting, as they call it, Solid Waste Advisory Committee. Committee recommended Ms. Grace Gonzalez from the city of FAR. She's not representing the city of FAR. She lives in the city of FAR to serve on the committee as private citizen representative. Grace Gonzalez.
Okay, you have one nomination. Are there any other? Hearing none, we need to approve that, so I have a motion to. We have one nomination. I've not heard any other nominations. Unless there are any, I entertain a motion to approve Ms. Grace Gonzalez for the public member to SWAC.
I'll second it. Commissioner Howell.
Okay. Nori first made the motion. Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Raise your hand. Motion carried. Item number 2.
Again, apologies for that. I've got notes in front of me here and I'm shuffling pages around like they're like a deck of cards here. But item number 2, consideration and action to approve Regional Water Resource Advisory Committee nominations for two different spots on that committee. One for institution of higher education and the other is a small city representative. These names are not in your packet because we just had this meeting yesterday to decide these nominations. Ms. Annabelle Cardona, she's the executive director of Valley Grande Institute here in the city of Weslaco. She was the nominee for institution of higher education. There was 3 nominees, or 3 people put up for nomination altogether, but she was the winning vote amongst the committee. And then, of course, the small city representative is Mr. Bobby Salinas from the city of Alamo. There were 2 nominations, but one happened to be somebody who works for the city of Alamo, so that person has agreed to serve as Mr. Salinas' proxy should Mr. Salinas not be able to make those meetings.
Okay. Any other nominations? We spent quite a bit of time on this actually yesterday. So
We did. That was a lot of deliberation.
hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the recommendations made by the SWAC committee.
So move.
A motion and second. Any other nominations that we should consider? Going once? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All right, I'll be brief. A couple of the quick comments. Just want to say thank you to the Small Business Administration for joining us at a veteran event that was hosted here. And I won't go into too much detail because we were not the host department on that particular event. But as the Economic Development District, we do like to encourage entrepreneurship at all levels, at all types. So thank you to the Small Business Administration. Also to the Veterans Business Outreach and the Procurement Technical Assistance Center from UTRGV. They were happy to oblige us and share information and be present with us for that particular event. The recent a couple of notes. We had a Small Cities Coalition meeting here recently. One of the more important caveats for those who are not able to attend, if you're a non-entitlement city and you do intend to apply for community development funds through the Texas Department of Agriculture, your deadline for that is April 3rd. The funding amounts go all the way to $500,000, and that's why I bring it up, because it's a substantial increase over previous year's funding. And then the next Region M meeting is January 4th, which is, it seems like forever and a day from now, but it's only a couple of weeks away. February 1st, it's been changed. Committee meeting, yes. Thank you. Couple of quick notes before I turn it over to the water levels. There's some photos in your packet. It shows yours truly presenting at a solid waste grant meeting. That was just an informational meeting. There is no RFA out right now for those solid waste grants. There's no request for application. Just wanted to make that clear. It was just more of a orientation meeting on those grants, so that when those funds do become available, people are a little bit more prepared. But do want to thank the City of McAllen for hosting us at their Keep McAllen Beautiful Festival, and of course our Area Agency on Aging for holding the Veteran Fest. And then, of course, we can go over lake levels. And I believe, Mayor Darling, you wanted to mention Border 2025, which is a TCQ initiative.
Right, and lake levels are 31.64 as of December 3rd. That's where last year at this time we were at almost 39%. For down from there. For all those cities that have conservation ordinances, once you go below 30%, I think that kicks in different conservation requirements for your community. So you need to be keeping track of that, and we'll have those numbers out. They're published weekly, and we're trying to send them out to cities on a weekly basis. And what's the second thing I'm supposed to tell?
Border 2025. It's up to you, sir.
Yeah.
There's a Border 2025 initiative that the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is hosting or pursuing, and it's a binational approach.
Who's running this meeting? No, that's right. And so for the golf course, I'm the leader for the golf course. And Border 2025 is a agreement between the EPA, United States EPA, and TCQ in Texas, and also in their counterparts in Mexico. And there's both projects funded on both sides of the river. Their economic development, waste management, water quality initiatives. So Colonias, septic tanks, all that, garbage pickup in Colonias is on the table for funding with NADBank money. So if you have any projects, if you call either Rick or myself,
yes,
and we'll get those put on. We have a deadline at the end of this month to just mention projects, not necessarily have them quantified.
Right. Absolutely. And NADBank is known for doing binational projects like that.
Yeah, they do every 5 years. It's a 5-year cycle, and we're in the 2025 cycle right now.
NADBank, for those who are not familiar, North American Development Bank. NADBank,
right.
For sure.
They're created under NAFTA.
Right. That concludes my report. If anybody has any questions, I'm open to questions at this point.
Thank you.
Right,
no question. Okay. Health and Human Services, Margarita Lopez.
Good afternoon, everyone. I apologize for a cold that I have going on here. I do not have any action items this month. I'm just going to give you the highlights on my extensive report that you have in front of you. We provided the reports for all quarters from October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022. The highlights on this go as follows. Through our care coordination services, which speaks to transportation services, residential repair services, health maintenance services, and homemaker services, we were able to serve 1,259 clients. Our caregiver support services, which speaks to respite, in-home services, and health maintenance services, we were able to serve 706 clients. We were able to also serve 113 clients utilizing our CDBG funding. When we speak about meals, we were able to serve 646,263 meals delivered to our consumers' homes. And we were able to serve 620,000 meals. Oh my glasses. 688 meals on congregate meals. So that's quite a few, taking under consideration that our aging population, little by little, has been able to congregate again. We were not able to do that during the pandemic. Our seniors operations served 1,854 clients through the year. And then you are able to see the breakdown through the quarters. I'm just giving you the final number for the entire year. When it comes to benefit counselors, we were able to serve 5,096 clients. Our care transition coaches were able to serve 3,892 clients at the hospitals. Our ombudsman program had 1,567 activity hours. We were able to investigate 699 complaints, and from those 699 complaints, 338 were actually cases that were open for further consideration. And we had 238.59 in-kind hours. So our volunteer bodies have been putting in the work. Through our vaccine project, we were able to distribute 8,306 flyers, and we were able to provide 532 vaccines. The total number of events attended from our team representing the Vaccine Access Project were 75 throughout the year. We were also able to impact 6,296 people through this project. So besides giving out the brochures and all of that, we were also able to speak to 6,296. And our information referral and assistance program, we were able to speak to 1,486 new clients who called asking about the services that we provide. The top calls, which reflect the highest areas of needs, were for the departments of benefit counseling, homemaker, and respite services. We'll be focusing on those throughout this year to make sure that we can provide the services needed to the aging population. And there it goes. We are very proud about the outcome that we had during our first annual Vet Fest. I don't know if you recall, but the weather was between the low 50s and high 40s. And still then we were able to have 135 veterans attend. We were able to give out 60 heaters and 60 blankets. We were able to provide 28 vaccines, and we had a total of 50 vendors attend. So that was a pretty good outcome. It was the first one, and it was very cold. Still then, it went really well. That is all that I have for updates. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Any questions? And that's the annual report, right? That you give a lot of annual numbers? Okay.
Yes, all you have is the breakdown, first quarter, second quarter, third, and fourth, and I just gave you the highlights on the total numbers. Let's keep in mind that that is from October 1st through September 30th.
Okay.
Yes?
Our fiscal year. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hear none? Thank you, Ms. Lopez.
Thank you.
Next up is the department that always has action items. Public safety. Mr. Perez, you're up.
That's where I left.
Yeah. I only have 5 of them today.
Yeah, geez.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, board members. As Mr. Darling said, I do have a couple of action items. These are housekeeping items that we have that we do on a yearly basis. The first one is a consideration action to approve Homeland Security Advisory Committee recommendation updates for the policies and procedures. The advisory committee met, and there was no changes done. So we're pretty much just getting them approved again because our bylaws state that we have to meet on a yearly basis and review the bylaws.
And that's what most of these items are going to
The
be.
same thing, yes.
Okay.
This is a policy and procedures.
So this is a review with no changes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
And have a second here in-house. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 2.
The second one is consideration and action to approve Homeland Security Advisory Committee for the HSAC bylaws. The first one was the policy and procedures. This is the bylaws for fiscal year 23 through 24.
And no changes to the prior
Same
ones.
thing.
Same thing. Have a motion?
So move. Johnny Garcia, Edinburgh.
Okay, we have a motion in-house, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I'm presuming you all have read these, right? Okay, item 3.
The third one is a consideration action to approve the review sheet, which is a score sheet for the Homeland Security grant fiscal year 2023 to 2024.
How'd we do?
Well, this is the sheet that we're going to use next year.
Oh.
So we need that sheet to be approved so the committee can use it.
Got it. Okay. I have a motion here. Second for approval. All right. All those in favor say aye. Raise your hands.
Aye.
Motion approved. And item 4.
The fourth one is consideration and action to approve the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee's review sheet for fiscal year 2023 through 2024. And the sheet should be in your packets.
That is. Okay. I have a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve, Commissioner Howell.
Second. Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 5.
Number 5, this is consideration and action to approve the appointment of the newly appointed members for the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee. We met on November the 10th of 2022, and there was nominations that were made by the committees. We voted on it, and these were the 3 individuals. Their bios should be attached to your packet. The first one was Mario Parrea. He is the Chief of Police for San Benito. The second one is Jody Tittle. He's the Assistant Chief of Police for the City of Mission. And Ms. Rosie Martinez. She is a Victim Unit Director with the Hidalgo County's District Attorney's Office.
Okay. And those are chosen
By the committees,
By
yes,
the
sir.
committee.
We just need y'all's final blessing.
Okay. You have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion or any other nominations that anybody wants to consider? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Now,
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
there's only one thing that I wanted to point out, aside from the beautiful pictures we have up there, is on our status report on the criminal justice program. So, we had to send out a letter to Ms. Zoila Garcia. She was an advisory member on our committee for the criminal justice, and we did notify her. We went through the proper procedures, giving her ample time to appeal the process, and unfortunately, she no longer, I guess in my understanding, would no longer want to be part of the committee. We didn't hear from her. So we moved forward to notifying her, and there's going to be a vacancy for next month. So if there's anybody that you all would like to nominate, and let the committee members know, which is within our committee members, that way they can nominate it and we can vote on it for the month of January.
Is this any particular law enforcement
This
experience
is,
or anything?
it's going to be for the discipline. The discipline is not going to be law enforcement because we're already pretty heavy on that side. It's supposed to be, as long as it doesn't match 1/3 of the committee. So right now we have about 8 law enforcement members. So we need more of the juvenile district, maybe faith-based or health professionals that can be on that committee.
So any mayors or city commissioners want to nominate
You're welcome
somebody?
to join us, man.
Sure, I need another group. Yeah. I'd love to.
So yes, and this is for the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee's committee
Yeah.
for next year.
I do have criminal law experience. Unfortunately, it's not on your side.
Ah,
Just kidding. Okay, so anybody in nomination, send them up.
Yes.
To the committee. Okay, any other report?
no, sir.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any other questions.
Well, just real quick, just wanted to let you all know, this will benefit your law enforcement, fire departments, emergency management. The Homeland Security grant applications are about to, or they are opened on eGrants,
Yes.
Texas Office of the Governor's website. So just pass on the word. This
A lot of money in it.
Thank you,
There's
Mr.
some
Cruz.
fun-
I did email all the mayor's emails that I have on file, all the EMCs, all the police chiefs, fire chiefs, as of yesterday, because they opened up yesterday in the morning, notifying them that the Homeland Security and the Criminal Justice branch for this coming year are already open, and the deadline for that is February 22nd, 2023.
Great.
So
There's
there's
money
money
there.
out there available.
Yeah, don't leave any money on the table for the rest of the state. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Nick, huh?
Deadline, Renee, February 14, 13.
The deadline for that is February 22nd, 2023. They opened up as of yesterday in the morning.
No procrastination.
And
Don't
I
wait
did
till last
email
minute.
everyone, so if y'all need, feel free to email me and I'll send you all the link and everything.
Okay. Transportation. We have our MPO people looking nasty at us because we're taking up the room. Transportation? Sir? Huh? I noticed.
Good afternoon. I'm here to share some good news. You know, the RGV, the Rio Grande Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization, actually received an award from AMPO, which is the Association of Metropolitan Planning Organizations. And mind you, there's 245 members of the AMPO organization. And the RMPO was actually chosen to receive an award in their last meeting in Minnesota. And the MPO was selected to receive it's the AMPO Board of Directors for Success through the MPO merger 3 years ago. That's the award that we're being recognized for. And through the work of staff and developing the plans, here's the award. I don't know if it'll stand here. We'll try that. There we go. Okay. So the plans that were awarded were for the long range plans, the developmental of a regional transit plan, the regional bike ped plans, and establishing staff to address and meet the demands of regional planning needed for the new MPO merger within a short time frame of 1 year. And mind you, most of these plans actually usually take about 3 to 4 years to complete. So our staff was able to get it done within a year to have everything done. And the importance of this is that the major impact of not having these plans ready in time, it would have seized all long-range plans that are federally funded from moving forward. So all work would have stopped if this hadn't been completed in time for our MPO merger. So it was a great achievement. You know, staff did a good job, all got together and did what we had to do, and we were awarded this award. So. Oh, that'd be nice. If it did, we didn't see it. Maybe it came. Yeah,
Well,
so I just wanted to present that here today.
Yep.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. Do you have any, that's your report too, Andrew? That's it?
That's all we have.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is that it? That is it for the meeting, and don't hold it against me that we're now recessing at 1:19.
A quick question.
Thank you, everybody. We won't see each other again until January 25th.
Merry
So
Christmas.
wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's to you and yours. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Thank you. Merry